on that system, cause you don't want to do it.
What you talking about, fool?
There you go,
Show
fool.
that jibber jabber.
Get it out, fool. Get out your system, fool. Come on,
Get on with this review, fool.
Calm down, C.H. Baracus. Jesus Christ.
Even though you look sexy with a mohawk.
Goddamn right.
Just fabulous. Nah,
Drink
man.
vitamins, eat your milk.
Stay on drugs.
Stay on drugs like C.H. Baracus does. Take my drugs in my breakfast cereal. Ooh, CHOs.
I pity the fool that don't take my drugs.
Yeah, keep off school. What you pretty much need to do to follow this kind of movie right here, because the A-team stands for "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because this is now look.
I thought it stand for absolutely.
Absolutely. I like that. Well, you know what? It's not even fair to apply a term like implausible to a movie like this when 5 minutes in you're like, okay, this is pretty much the rule of the day. It's not a point of this film that anything happens that's so ridiculous that you go, yeah, that sticks out from everything else.
Like when they start to fly a tank.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, in this world, your knees can scrape the ground behind a car and not get injured. Yeah. You can actually fly a tank from the sky with 3 parachutes, and it just floats down gently like a feather. You can shoot at the same time while coming down that tank. You can instantly speak Swahili if you get caught in the jam at the airport.
Obviously, never flown a tank before.
Who needs wings?
What's that? You've obviously never flown a tank before, Corey.
I was about to say, who needs wings when you have ammo?
I have my tank license, and I have flown a tank many times with only 2 parachutes. It's entirely within the realm of no.
I was about to say,
it's totally crazy.
Excuse me, brother. I went bungee jumping the week before, and just yesterday I went tank jumping. So what the hell are you talking about? I went bungee jumping with a tank. The tank bounced back up.
It's like, Cyrus, is this before or after you took the LSD? What are you talking about?
Oh, well after. It was almost exactly an hour.
And that's what this movie is like, man. Now, I saw the A-Team when I was a kid, and I watched, as I told you, a few episodes last a month or two on Hulu because somebody was telling me, hey, you got to see some of the guest stars that they have in here. Like they had Rick James in one episode.
Oh my God.
They had Isaac Hayes in the same episode. I mean,
they had Sonny and Cher too, right?
I think the Smurfs won an episode.
The Batman and Robin.
Corey didn't watch any that didn't have black guests.
Oh, what are you talking about? We all saw the Harlem Globetrotters episode together, right?
Oh yeah, we saw the episode where the A-Team got stuck on Gilligan's Island with the Harlem Globetrotters. That's right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that existed, but yeah.
And they turned that basketball into a tank. Isn't that cool?
It's time to put a montage together. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, we're all going to have different opinions of this, I think. At least you and I, Cyrus, are going to have some different opinions.
Oh.
Because you're a fool.
So you're already admitting you're wrong right off the bat like that? That's
that.
Well, you don't know that you are, but that's okay.
What the hell are you trying to do, man? We haven't even got into the review yet.
I'm so sure you're wrong. I'm just going to start with that. I'm going to my launching point.
Man, no, look, because you can come against me all you want to. I'm going to take this stance of respecting your opinion.
Oh, the high road.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you're probably going to need some direction since you've never been there before.
You're right. That's high road.
Corey.
Fuck you, Cyrus. You know you're wrong, bitch.
Like Cyrus, you should know this by now. Corey always takes the opposite road where it's dead end, but he can't see the sign.
I just keep on going anyway. But no, man, because I really can't say people are wrong for liking this movie because look, the original show. Now you help me out here. I don't remember the exact date when the show came out. I just remember it was the mid-'80s.
It ended in 87. I believe it started in 82.
So did it start in 82?
I'm pretty sure it started.
Man, that show didn't go on for no 5 years.
You know, it was a 5-year run.
Oh, that ridiculous shit went on for 5 years.
It was just enormously popular. You have no idea.
I know. I remember. No, believe me. I remember how popular the show was.
It maybe shouldn't have gone on for 5 years. I'm not going to argue that with that.
The thing is, it felt so short because every goddamn episode was the same goddamn episode.
It was.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. Now, back then, who did we have as the I remember the characters. You had Hannibal, you had Face, you had Murdoch, and of course you had Mr. T as B.A. Baracus. Now, who were the people that played those roles?
Well, it was Mr. T, of course, was B.A. Baracus, as you said. The Murdoch guy, I don't have a clue who was playing that role.
I want to say, oh shit.
George Papard was Hannibal.
Yes,
it's the guy from Battle Beyond the Stars. That's who you were.
and God, the guy who played
Dirk Benedict.
Yeah, with Dirk Benedict. That's who it was. Yeah.
From Battlestar Galactica.
From Battlestar Galactica.
I see. Every time I watched A-Team, I just thought, hey, it's the guy from Battlestar Galactica, Battle Beyond the Stars, and Mr. T.
Dwight Schultz was Mad Murdock. Does anybody ever remember the name of the narrator though?
No.
If you can find them and you can hire them, you can pay for the A-Team or whatever it was.
I don't think people at the time knew who the narrator was.
No.
I know nobody.
Was he a character in the show too?
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows that.
You're like, it was Leon, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was about 50 back then. Leon's back there. Yeah, you can hire them. No, it was John Ashley who did that narration, I think. But man, this is what happens when you give a ridiculous show some money. You get a ridiculous movie with money. I mean, it's like because back then those shows were cheap.
Oh yeah.
The A-Team didn't use guns because I don't think they could afford the props.
No, they would have guns. They just couldn't hit a goddamn thing. As near as I could tell, they were great at shooting tires, though. I mean, if there was a tire to be shot, that tire would be shot, and the people would have just enough time to get out of said vehicle before it would blow up for nothing.
They went to the same school of shooting as the stormtroopers did, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it was all I remember is it would be an army of men with guns. It will always end with Mr. T tossing about 50 of them over a fence or something.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. T was bulletproof. Mm-hmm. And, they'd be shooting at him. He'd just keep on coming towards you and pick you up and just throw you across the field.
It's like they were always doing their General Lee impersonations. Fly over the camera.
But it was with a guy. And that guy would always go, the camera would always look up, and that guy would always go in slow motion. Usually see his face like, what the fuck?
And you can catch that show every Saturday at Six Flags now.
So it was a ridiculous show. It was cheap. And so what they did was they just took that ridiculousness and just added money to it to add more explosions, more car chases, more CG effects.
Honestly, with every action movie that's come out after that original A-Team movie aired, I always thought every action movie was basically doing a bad version of the A-Team, especially when you had a group of mercenaries stuck together, where it always would turn out to be like the most goofiest extreme movie you can think about. And the thing is, I always wondered, how come they didn't shoot this A-Team movie like 15, 20 years ago.
You've been sitting here this whole time going, I'm waiting for my A-Team movie.
I've been fucking
You better bring out my A-Team movie.
He's like,
I don't want to see Mr. T fucking walking out on a cane going, hey, fool. Wait, what's that line?
And you know what? He still pick your ass up and throw you. I can't walk, but I can pick your ass up.
Out of frustration.
But he's like, I know you're like, damn, there's a Dukes of Hazzard movie. I still ain't got my A-Team movie yet. Well, that's why it's so hard to argue about the validity of this film or the quality of it, because the first show there was nothing going on. It was just those guys being mercenaries, and it sounded cool because they're like, hey, if you could hire these guys, they'll help you out with your situation. Meanwhile, they just show up and do the same shit they did last week. Yeah. I think they even had some of the same villains that they did just in a different costume from last week.
And much like the TV show, the movie, I mean, the plot is so secondary to what they're trying to sell you on, which is the same as the show. The two things that people liked about the show, one was big, stupid stunts, which they did every week. There was at least two big, stupid explosion stunts. A big movie, there's like 25 of big, stupid things, and a pretty impressive ending one.
Yeah.
And, more importantly, force of personality. The characters, the way that they made them all so bigger than life, they gave them lots of funny stuff to say. They weren't trying to take themselves seriously at all. And that's totally where this movie works for me. Because these characters, they are funny. No, you don't believe any of this is even mildly plausible, but they did a great job making these guys seem like the original A-Team. That whole sense of fun and camaraderie is totally here.
I see there's going to be two camps of people with this movie. There's going to be the people that say, you know what, this captured the spirit of the A-Team because the A-Team was stupid. And this movie's just as stupid. And stupid dumb action is for some people, and for some people it's not. I'm not a big fan of just dumb explosions and fire and bullets and all that kind of shit with no story behind it at all, because they introduce a story here. They blow that motherfucker up with everything else in the movie. Yeah. Like, hey, we got wrong for trying to find. Here's a story. They're trying to acquire these plates that are used to counterfeit money. In the middle of that, their superiors end up getting killed. These guys are framed for it, and they end up going to jail. Of course, they break out, and they're after the guys who set them up, which goes deep within government ops. I mean, it goes within the CIA. It goes within black ops. I mean, I even think they're trying to make some sort of political reference here, because here we got Black Forest. I don't know if that's a reference to Blackwater or whatever.
Well, I got the feeling like if at the very least, if it was trying to say anything at all, it was that even the military resents the private contractors that are being brought over to Iraq and places like that, and are let free to do whatever the fuck they want outside of any sort of accountability for it.
It seems like every motherfucker out there was looking for these guys, including the Salvation Army. I mean, everyone was out to get the fucking A-team. There was no way you'd have to fucking jump off the planet.
What you say? You had like people in Santa Claus suits running after them. The Shriners were out there, those little cars coming after the A-team.
Santa Claus, it's a trap, fool.
But I mean, the story doesn't matter because after a while, it's just, I mean, it really is just a whirlwind or a convolution or just a cornucopia of action and fire.
It's a big, colorful miasma of violence.
Yeah. You know, it felt like watching the A-team going to Six Flags and getting on every goddamn extreme ride they can possibly think of, just so they can bicker about, number one, they don't want to get on the ride, and then they get on the ride and they're screaming all over each other, and the only thing you hear in the background is Mr. T going, "Fool! God damn it, fool! How'd I get up in here? I'm used to name me Hannibal. What's going on?
I told you, fool, I'm not getting on that Superman ride no more, you understand?
I told you, I don't like loop-de-loops. I don't like them.
And then you see them flying out screaming with guns and shit, but Mr. T just be knocked out. You got me on a roller coaster again, didn't you, fool?
And
wow, that really is this movie. Y'all just nailed it.
It is. Now, see, I understand that, and really, I was saying fuck you earlier, and then deep down inside, I'm still saying that. But on the outside, I'm saying, I understand where you're coming from because some people don't mind that. Michael Bay movies have an audience for that very same reason.
You know for a fact that I am not a fan of the Michael Bay films, so don't go acting as if you're all high and mighty. Oh, you fucking some people
Michael Bay
only
lover.
like big dumb movies. You know that's not me.
You like this movie.
I do like this movie. I do like this movie, but okay, so it's a big dumb movie. I like a horror movie, for instance. Does that mean I like all horror movies automatically?
Yes.
Is that how stupid we're going to be about this? Man, this is a big dumb action movie, so therefore Cyrus likes all big dumb action movies.
Cyrus loves it when I throw black cats in his pants.
No, I'm able to distinguish a little between a crappy big dumb action movie and a fun big dumb action movie, and this is a fun big dumb action movie.
Well, you know what the thing is? I don't mind dumb fun, obviously. The thing is, if you're going to go to a ridiculous extreme, I want you to go as far as like a Crank 2 type film with it.
Well,
where
that's
it's inventive,
almost art house extreme.
You know what? Hey, I got high standards, all right, Cyrus, and that's what I want. All right, with this movie though, even though the characters were fun, for a while I was like, man, sitting in that theater, I was like, man, fuck this. This is the C team. I don't want to call these motherfuckers
You
out.
know what? You were so right. We got professional actors except for Rampage Jackson.
who was the weakest point of the whole thing.
Yeah, he was. But they all did. These professional actors look like the people at Universal Studios who dress up and come out and do the A-Team musical.
I'm like,
I had a lot of fun watching him. I thought Sharlto Copley, is that how you pronounce his name? From District 9,
District 9,
was great as Murdoch. I thought he nailed it. In fact, one of the things I was most disappointed in the film was that there wasn't more of him in it because he's so good. I thought Bradley Cooper was so fantastic as Face. Totally nailed that role. Liam Neeson, well, come on, he's Liam Neeson. Do whatever the fuck he wants and he's going to be good at it. And he's just fine as Hannibal. I really liked all of them except for the guy who played B.A. Baracus, who was looked like he was reading his lines off a teleprompter.
Well, sometimes you couldn't, if he wasn't saying fool, then he was maybe I couldn't understand what the hell he was talking about.
He was doing that, and yeah, you're right. He only had like 2 real lines. Anything ending in fool, and this is bullshit.
Yeah, that's
he
it.
said that line about 5 times.
Other than that motherfucker had mush mouth. I couldn't
better not put me on a plane.
But you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the director realized, look, this guy, I think he's like an Ultimate Fighter.
But we're not going to see him in any Ultimate movies.
Yeah, maybe he's not much of an actor. Maybe they gave him some long diatribe of dialogue. He was like, no, this guy, let's just keep him in the background.
Well, you know what? I'd have to say, let me go through the characters, what I liked about them and didn't like about them. I like Sharlto Copley, except I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but he started out sort of having like a hick sort of accent, and then he would go between his South African accent. And I was just like, I can't tell if that's on purpose or if he just can't keep it up. I liked him. I liked his personality in the movie, but I was kind of taken out of it sometimes.
I'm told you're a hell of a chopper pilot.
The best, sir.
I'm not getting on the chopper with this nut job, man.
Yeah, that's a good. You know, was he another one of your projects? I'm a real soldier. I'm a ranger, baby. I'm worried.
Rampage Jackson.
Okay, I don't want to say his name wrong. I'm going to beat the fuck out of me.
He's going to bust through this door any minute. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know he's going to say, hey, fool.
You know you're still in character?
He'd be like, you guys are spill. You did. I guess I should be threatened, but I can't understand what the fuck he's saying.
No, it's Quentin Jackson.
I was about to say,
yes, Quentin Rampage Jackson, me.
Who's related to 50 Cent, apparently.
What?
The way he talks, he delivers his line.
Oh no! Don't put those fools in a movie together. You know what the name of that movie would be?
I ain't stepping foot in any type of aircraft animal. No gliders, paper planes, ultralights.
Are you ever gonna let me live that down?
No.
Mexico was a long time ago, and I saved your life.
How about thanking me for not whooping your ass at that hospital? I was an airborne ranger till I met you.
And you chicken out just like to heal yourself.
263 jump.
Just to thank you would have been nice.
And one helicopter ride with you screws it up. Airborne ranger with a fear of flying. Like a punk.
BA, for the last time, nobody leaves the truck once we take it over. Okay? Staging. Movement. Action plan. There's a nice read for you.
Oh, hell yeah, Hannibal. This is it right here.
It's perfect.
This is beyond nuts, boss.
It gets better.
Well, hey, if they ever make another Fat Albert movie, I vote him for Much Mouth.
And he just punches Fat Albert. But you know, I tell you what, his lines weren't all that good. He's not a good actor, but he did every now and then nail Mr. T.
No, he did.
Yeah.
He did, honestly.
I have to say, whenever he did, that's the
when
problem.
he cut his hair with the mohawk, he nailed it.
Yeah, there you go. His hair. That afro down the middle of his head. Straight up Mr. T.
I almost don't blame him completely, though, because like the way they filmed this movie was sort of like, let's just let everybody talk over each other all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very like, it's chaotic, it's frenetic, everything is constantly moving, the camera's moving, everybody's talking over each other. You have to decipher it. I wanted subtitles really bad because I couldn't understand what a lot of people were saying a lot of the time.
Dude, like I said, I mean, it felt like they're watching somebody on a Six Flags ride with a bunch of people trying to talk over each other, and they're just screaming and yelling.
And I think that
having
was
a great
very
time.
intentional in some ways. Yeah, that they wanted to create that atmosphere.
Oh no, I get that.
This is out of control.
I get that, but the thing is, they did it like in three or four scenes, which I didn't mind. But at the same time, I'm like, what is this dialogue? Because they have like four characters talking to each other, and the camera's going back and forth, and you just don't know what are they talking about.
I tell you, he was good, but he was doing an impression. Liam Neeson is the only one I don't think was right doing an impression. Liam Neeson was just Liam Neeson.
He was being Liam Neeson.
Yeah, with some great
Which
hair.
when they cast him, that was why they cast him, because they're like, oh, well, he's already George Papard in the A-Team. So
okay, sure.
Just give him a cigar, and he is Hannibal.
I actually thought George Papard was a little more lively than Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson, you know, no matter what he's in, he's trying to be serious actor. You know what I mean? He could be in anything. That motherfucker could be Alvin and Alvin and Chipmunks. He's going to be acting serious.
Well, he has a very specific set of skills, so.
Acting serious, I guess, is part of it. And I think the best person to cast was Bradley Cooper as Face. I think he's the one that actually just made his own thing with it. And I don't know, because but it was a pretty boy role.
They put him in the forefront because of the fact that he's a pretty boy and because just a semblance of a romance that's going on in the background between him and Jessica Biel here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously they want to bring that to the forefront, so we saw a lot more of him for that reason.
I thought that was actually perfect casting because honestly, he just, to me at least, I thought he was just playing himself because I've seen this character, the character that he was doing in this movie, I've seen him do it before.
Yeah, he's made a whole.
It wasn't really a stretch, to be honest, but it was perfect casting for this film.
He's made a career out of smiling and taking his shirt off when appropriate. So. And he is good at it. You know, I mean, obviously ladies are responding, so
you saw more of his chest than you did of the 18 van in this movie.
That's true.
I think you saw more of his pecs and his chest than you saw of his face.
That van ended up flatter than his chest. That's for sure.
I tell you though, man, as for myself in this movie, I probably side more with co-hosts because I'm not the kind of person that says take something and make it as dumb as what they took it from. I'm the kind of person that says you could actually have a remake and make it better. You can actually add more story. I know that some people say they don't want that. I'm the person that want that. And I tell you why, because right before this movie started, there was a trailer for that Tom Cruise movie, Night and Day.
Yeah.
That had, what's her name in it?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem with this movie is that let's just say it tried to make it dumb. I'm with you, co-host. They didn't go far enough to make it like its own thing. And they didn't try to make it better than the original series. So it's just kind of a typical action film with a budget. That movie didn't look any different than that trailer that I saw for Night and Day. It really did not stand out to me from anything else except these guys play acting like the people they were in trying to be from the original show. But the guy that directed this is the guy directed what was that movie Aces
Aces Lounge? What?
Smoking Aces?
Joe Callahan.
Smoking Aces, I think.
Joe Callahan, just directed Smoking Aces, a movie that was over the top, and I wish they had brought that sensibility to that.
Yeah. See, I didn't like Smoking Aces. I was like one of those like, wow, this is just dull. It's not working for me.
Well, I didn't either, but I thought like, hey, this guy's over the top sensibility can work here. That's what I think. So it's not a bad movie. I mean, I think that there are some fun parts. I mean, I'm not stuck up enough not to appreciate a good special effect.
Oh, you're stuck up.
As I sit here and.
So with his
are you trying not to say fool right now?
No, I'm trying not to. I sit up here as I eat my cheese, my pinky out. I can appreciate a dumb action film as much as any other person, but this is ridiculous.
You're like, I like a film to be serious, take itself seriously. Now I'm gonna go watch the clones of Dr. Funkenstein or something else from your blaxploitation collection.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what? Blaxploitation is crazy. It goes overboard. If this movie had come out and just been insane, I would have been like, I'll give this movie fucking full price for just having the balls to go insane with it. But I mean, it really is just a typical action film, summer blockbuster to me.
I have to agree, because you know what? I was really waiting for something to really stick out to me, to make me go, okay, wow, this is here are a few scenes that I would actually come back to the theater to watch again. And it didn't do that. And the problem is that I think a majority of the problem is that a lot of the action scenes, which are the focal point, especially the fight scenes, are so poorly lit. It's another one of those situations where the camera's too close and the room is way too dark. It looks like somebody has a mag light, shining on the action, and the camera's trying to follow. And really, half the time, you just don't know what the fuck is going on.
Because none of these actors actually know how to fight.
And that's the thing, and I thought about that too, but with the exception of Mr. T.
I'm about to say Quentin Jackson, he don't know how to fight?
Yeah, I mean,
because UFC
didn't make any
all
sense
real.
to me, where he, honestly, I thought he should have really stood out as far as the fighting and action scenes. And honestly, they really held back on his character, on B.A. Baracus, because he's barely fighting in this movie.
Well, the thing is, his mohawk is gone because that's a big symbol of him. And then for some reason, in the whole middle part of the movie, he's like, I found peace.
A peacenik, yeah. I was like, I couldn't help myself. I was like, wow, it's like Mohawk and Dove.
I like, out of all the characters in this movie to say that I'm not going to fight or kill, is B.A. Baracus. That's the character he's going to do it.
Well, wasn't there like something about that in the TV series, though? I thought he had some sort of like, I won't kill type of thing.
But let me tell you, even if they did, it doesn't help this movie out.
No, I agree. It's one of the biggest like character mistakes they make here, where it's like, stop that. We want B.A. Baracus to be this just ridiculous badass. Like a tank coming through, unstoppable, and he's just a big pussy through a lot of it.
It's like Superman losing his powers throughout half of the film.
I don't want that. Really? For Margot Kidder, you can't do better than that?
And if I remember the show, and from watching some of the shows that I last saw, I don't remember them using a whole lot of guns, which I think it was because of, at the time, they didn't want to have them using a lot of guns, especially with this show coming on a Friday night and kids were starting to like the show. And that also kind of, even if it was dumb, it kind of set these characters apart from other action people. We're going to go in and just kick ass with our wits. And this
movie got creative, yeah.
Yeah, and this movie, I mean, again, there's nothing to separate them from the average action hero.
See, I don't agree with that.
Because they're using guns everywhere.
There was lots of scenes where they were like, there was two big sequences where they're like, here's the big plan and how complex it is and how they broke each one of them out of jail. I mean, they were implausible, to say the least, but they were fun to watch. They were more clever than your actual average action movie.
It just didn't wow me. I mean,
I got most of what you're all saying. I agree with completely.
I thought that climax, that ending, that last scene was kind of inspired. They have a takeoff on a shell game that they just take to a very massive scale, and it's a cool idea. I don't think it was enormously as creative or fun as you say it is, but I did think like, wow, now here's what they're thinking. They're actually doing something a little creative here in the movie. Granted, it doesn't raise anything above any kind of level other than what I'm watching right now, but I have to give it points for that.
It was a fun scene.
It was a fun scene. Like I said, you want to go ahead and give ratings?
Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Again, don't think it's bad. I think people like Cyrus, who like big dumb action films, are going to like this. But no, I think it's going to have.
If you like dumb films,
if you're a stupid person like Cyrus, if you like stupid films like Cyrus, this is only because Carlisle's in here that I'm taking a brunt of this.
No, I'm not, man. I'm just saying.
You like strobe lights.
The new elected representative of Dumbtopia here in the house.
If you're the mayor of Stupid Town like Cyrus is, you might like this movie. No, I really do respect the people who are going to say, look, I'm not asking for much. This is just a fun film. I got what I wanted. I saw a different vision of the A-Team originally than you did. I think I don't blame those people. I myself, like I said, this does not distinguish itself from any other big action film that I see on an average summer, and I got to give it a rental for that.
There was points I was like, high rental, because there are some points in this film that are pretty goddamn bad, that you're like, okay, come on. And it's mainly editing that's the problem. You're like, I can't understand what the fuck is going on. I can't understand what people are saying. I can't understand what's going on the screen. It just felt sloppy at points. However, whoever did the punch-up work on the script did a hell of a job, because I read the original script, and it was shit. And you can tell the plot is pretty much shit here. But the punch-up job, all the humor, really worked for me a lot. It made me like these characters, and it also made me remember why I liked the original A-Team when I was a kid. I mean, it is the very definition of a dumb, fun movie, and I even with all its flaws, and it's got many flaws, I'm going to give it a matinee.
Okay. Damn fool. Well, I was kind of back and forth on this as far as matinee and rental, because you know what, I did have fun watching it, even though a lot of it was ridiculous and a lot of the action wasn't really all that great. But I'll be honest with you. I think seeing this at a matinee, it would still be a fun movie. I don't think anybody would be really disappointed.
So you moved to Stupid Town, did you? Yeah. Packed your bags and moved to Dummyville.
Or maybe
I would have took the stupid train, but that shit broke down as soon as I got on board.
Or maybe now that you found that you're in the minority here, it's when that camera pans out and you realize it's you who's been in Dumbtopia all along.
No, but hey.
That's all right. You know what? I need more vacancy here in Smartville.
No, but the thing is, it was stupid fun, and the thing is like, it's from material that, you know, from a TV show that wasn't like, it was no Incredible Hulk, if you ask me. But hey, you know, but it was a fun film. I mean, yeah, there's some times where the actors did seem like they were just doing their best impersonations, but you know what? There was a little bit of chemistry there, and I did like that. Now, as far as the further adventures of the A-Team, I'm kind of curious what they do. Maybe they'll fix up some of their flaws that they did with this film. But you know what? I still enjoy. I still enjoyed it. It's exactly what it should be.
You are the most unpredictable son of a bitch I've ever met.
It is a
I thought I had you on my side.
The hunter has become the hunted.
Thought you had my backup. You are not my A-Team.
We'd be the D team.
If you
F team for failure.
Co-host. I love it when a review comes together.
If you need somebody,
I changed my mind.
You're doing a review, and you need somebody to back you up. And if you can find them, do not hire co-hosts.